I gave a loan to my brother without any official documents, but he refused to pay it back and started ignoring me completely, which made me feel betrayed and forced me to rethink family trust. When he first came to me, he sounded desperate. He told me he was going through a rough time financially, and I could see the stress all over his face. As his sibling, I didn't think twice. I wanted to help him. In my mind, family comes first. That's why I didn't ask for anything in writing, no receipts, no witnesses. I simply handed him the money and believed his promise that he would return it once things got better. At the beginning, he was very grateful. He even reassured me multiple times, saying things like, "Don't worry, I'll pay you back soon." And I believed him. I never imagined that helping my own brother would turn into one of the biggest regrets of my life. Weeks passed by, and I started asking him gently about the money. His answers changed every time. One day he told me he was still struggling. Another day he said he was waiting for a payment to come through. At first I accepted his excuses because I didn't want to pressure him. But as the months went on, the promises started sounding emptier and emptier. Slowly, his behavior changed. He stopped replying to my texts as quickly as before. Sometimes, he wouldn't answer my calls at all. When I finally managed to talk to him in person, he brushed me off like it was nothing. It felt like the more I tried to remind him, the more he pulled away from me. It's not just about the money anymore. It's about the trust. This was supposed to be my brother, someone I could rely on no matter what. Instead, I feel like he took advantage of me, like my kindness meant nothing. Now I find myself lying awake at night thinking, did I make a mistake by trusting him so blindly? Was I naive to believe that family bonds are stronger than money? Or did this situation reveal something darker about him that I refused to see before? After months of waiting and hearing nothing but excuses, I finally decided to confront my brother more directly. I didn't want to fight with him, but I also couldn't keep pretending everything was fine while he acted like nothing happened. The first time I brought it up seriously, he avoided eye contact and gave me another vague answer. He said something like, "You know I'll give it back when I can. Why are you stressing me?" His tone was different this time, colder, almost defensive. Instead of appreciating the fact that I helped him, he made me feel guilty for asking about my own money. I tried to stay calm, but deep inside I started feeling a mix of anger and sadness. It wasn't just the money. It was the realization that he no longer respected me enough to be honest. After that, I noticed he began avoiding me completely. If I called, he wouldn't answer. If I texted, he would read my message but never reply. Sometimes, he would even post on social media while ignoring me, which made me feel even more humiliated. What made it worse was how the rest of the family started to react. When I mentioned the issue to my parents, they told me to be patient and not to make a big deal out of it. They said, "He's your brother. You shouldn't pressure him." But what about me? Don't I deserve to be treated with the same respect? The silence from everyone hurt me more than the money itself. It felt like my feelings didn't matter. I kept thinking about how unfair it was. If the situation were reversed, I know I would have done everything to pay him back as quickly as possible. Every time I see him now, there's this heavy tension between us. He acts like nothing happened, like I'm the one creating drama. And I can't even describe how frustrating that feels. On one hand, he's my brother, and I don't want to lose him. On the other hand, I can't just ignore the fact that he betrayed my trust so deeply. Day by day, I'm starting to realize that maybe money changes people more than I ever imagined. The more time that passed, the heavier this situation became on my heart. I found myself constantly thinking about it, at work, before sleeping, even when I was supposed to be enjoying time with friends. It was like a shadow that followed me everywhere. I kept asking myself the same questions over and over. Am I being too harsh? Should I just let it go because he's my brother? Or am I being too soft, letting him walk all over me? The confusion was eating me alive. Some nights, I would lie in bed, replaying every moment from the day I gave him the money. His face, his words, the way he promised me, all of it felt like a cruel joke now. I wondered if he ever truly intended to pay me back, or if from the very beginning he knew I was an easy target because of my trust. I tried talking to a few close friends about the situation, hoping they would give me clarity. Some of them told me I should just move on, that money isn't worth breaking family ties. Others, however, told me that what he did was nothing but manipulation, and that I should confront him more seriously, maybe even cut him off if he continues to disrespect me. This difference in opinions only made me more conflicted. I wanted peace, but I also wanted justice. I wanted my brother back, but I didn't want to feel like a fool. What hurt the most was the shift in how I looked at him. Before this, he was my brother, someone I trusted blindly. Now, when I think of him, the first emotion that rises isn't love, it's disappointment, and I hate that. I hate that he forced me into a position where I have to question my own family. Every family gathering became uncomfortable. He would act normal, laughing and joking, while I sat there feeling invisible, like my pain didn't exist. Nobody brought up the issue, and I felt like I was the only one carrying this weight. And the truth is, a part of me started to change. I became more distant, not only from him, but from the whole family. I began building walls around myself, questioning whether anyone truly valued me, or if I was just the person they could lean on whenever they needed something. The more I thought about it, the clearer it became. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about respect, trust, and the bond I thought was unbreakable. After weeks of silence and endless thoughts tearing me apart, I finally decided that I couldn't stay quiet anymore. The weight of the situation was too heavy, and pretending like nothing happened was destroying me from the inside. So I made up my mind. I was going to confront my brother face to face. When I showed up at his place, he looked surprised to see me. At first, he acted casual, as if everything between us was perfectly fine. That only made me angrier inside, but I kept my composure. I didn't want to explode right away. I sat down across from him, and after a long pause, I finally said, "We need to talk." My voice was calm, but I could feel my heart racing. He sighed, almost as if he already knew what I was about to bring up. I reminded him of the money, of the promise he made, of the countless times I tried to reach out respectfully. I told him how his silence and avoidance made me feel, like I wasn't his brother anymore, just some stranger chasing a debt. Instead of showing regret, his reaction shocked me. He leaned back, crossed his arms, and said, "Why are you making this such a big deal? It's just money. Family shouldn't fight over this." Hearing those words felt like a slap in the face. Just money? Did he not realize how much trust was broken in the process? Did he not understand the countless nights I spent thinking about this betrayal? I tried to explain that it wasn't just about the money. It was about respect, honesty, and the bond we were supposed to share as brothers. But the more I spoke, the more defensive he became. His tone grew sharper, his body language colder. At one point, he even accused me of being selfish, of caring more about cash than about him. That accusation cut deeper than I could have imagined. How could he twist the story like that, making me the bad guy when all I ever did was help him? Out of love and trust? I sat there staring at him, struggling to recognize the person in front of me. This wasn't the brother I grew up with, the one I trusted blindly. This was someone else, someone I barely knew. The room was heavy with silence after that. My mind was racing, torn between yelling at him, walking away, or trying one last time to make him understand. My emotions were boiling over, but I forced myself to stay calm, even though inside I was breaking apart. In the end, I realized that no amount of excuses could hide the truth. My brother chose money over our bond, and nothing would ever erase that betrayal. I decided to step back, not out of weakness, but out of self-respect. Sometimes protecting your peace means letting go, even if it's family. And that's how our story ends today. But in the world of Max Fables, every story carries a lesson and leaves a mark. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming tales. Here, stories truly come to life.